So Mr. Hirsch is going to break down how to take the reading inventory. You might know it as the SRI. Same thing. Same thing. Here we go.
Taking here. The big point of this reading inventory is to figure out where your reading score is. If you've ever heard the word Lexile, that's what we're going to get out of this test. The one thing I'd like to request before you do this, however, is to think very long and hard about making sure you're working through this the best you can. Because if we get a score that doesn't match, you might be misplaced in next year's classes. It might mean that we don't fully understand where you're actually at. And so as a teacher, we can't be as helpful to you as we might otherwise be. So please make sure you take this one seriously and work the best you can. And here we go. So to get to the test, to get to the reading inventory, you can go to our school website, right, and select a school and go to Chudleton High School. And what's going to happen down at the bottom here is you have your 812 application launcher. So we're going to, I think there's a little announcement that'll pop up, but I've already been here, so I've stopped it.
Rocket ship.
Close the announcement, and then you're going to click 8 to 12 application launcher. All right, and what you do then is, there's the announcement. You're going to click HMH Central here. So
okay, so if you haven't already, your link is in the chat. Click on that. I think that'll pop you here to this screen. You want to click HMH Central, and then you're going to sign in just like you would to a Chromebook, or just like you would if you were on campus, signing into a computer.
So not K-12, not Clever, but HMH Central. Click that. Okay. What's going to happen is then you're going to log in using your student ID, and then your first and last initial and student ID. So let me say that again. Student ID number, so the same thing you log in with Skyward, and then first and last initial, and then student ID. Okay, so it'll be, so for example, maybe your number is 555-5555, right? And then your password would be, so mine would be, my initials, MH555-5555, right? And I hit sign in, okay, and what's going to happen is after you hit sign in, you're going to be taken to this screen. All right, it's going to look like this. Let me get this out of the way for you. Take you to this screen.
Okay, right? The blue reading inventory.
We've done this right behind the scenes, so you'll see this blue button here.
Press the blue button.
Click that blue button.
It's like the Matrix. The blue button, though.
It says reading inventory. You click that, all right, and it will take you to this screen. In this screen, you're going to pick 3 things, and here's what I would strongly suggest. Whatever you pick is the type of passages they're going to give you, okay? So make sure that you are actually going to be interested in some of this stuff. So like if you're not a big history person, don't click history. It's not going to be enjoyable for you. So for example, I might choose humor. I might choose sports and hobbies, and maybe I'll choose myths, folktales, and legends. Right? That's
action adventure.
Or maybe I'll choose action adventure and sci-fi and biographies. So whoever you are, choose things that work for you. Now I will give you one heads up. If you're not really into science and technology, or into space, or into government and politics, some of those words may not be interesting to you, and so they may be harder for you because they're not your passion. So make sure you're choosing on this screen something that you actually want to read about. Then you're going to click Next. And you click Next, you'll be taken to this screen. And it may start reading to you, and that's fine. If you want it to stop reading to you, click this little volume button, and it'll mute it, and then it won't keep reading to you. Okay?
So this is a nice option if you feel like you need to hear stuff too.
Because it's giving the option if you want. Long story short here on these tests, you're just going to be given a series of passages on the left. And on the right will be like a sentence where you fill in the blank with one of the word choices below it. I can't actually show it to you because that violates their copyright or whatever. So on the left, though, will be a passage, and then on the right will be a sentence with usually a blank space, and you fill in from the multiple choice which word that you think fits there based on the context of what you just read. Then you're going to hit Next. When you're ready to take this test, you hit Next. That first question will pop up. You will have 3 skips available to you. Those are ones where like you're looking at something and it's just, for whatever reason, that particular one is not working. So feel free to use it on that one particular passage, but I would strongly urge you not use them all right away.
Yeah, so you have some skips, but don't use them like 3 in a row. If you need to skip one, then really try your best at the other one. And then if you need to skip another one, that's okay. But if you skip them in a row, it messes with your numbers. Don't do it.
Because then it may score so you know where you truly belong in terms of your skill level. And if we get too low a skill level, you'll end up with a class that's way lower than you need.
It's going to be boring.
And so make sure you're doing the best you can with this. Otherwise, you just answer the question, hit next, answer the question, hit next. It will be judging where your score is at. And as it kind of gets a sense, so it's going to ask probably some really easy ones and some really hard ones. It's going to try and narrow it down to the rough range of your reading score. And so you'll probably get 15 or 20 questions, and it will kind of narrow it down to, okay, yep, this is your rough reading score. Remember, it's a scale, so your realization is that you might get, say, an 1,000. That might mean that regularly you might read between 950 and 1,050. It's just kind of a rough target of where you're at right now. Okay? So, do the best you can. Thank you for taking this test for us and helping you figure out where you're at as well. Have yourself a good one.
Okay, people. So that's what we need to do right now is take your reading inventory, tell me you're done, and then give yourself a brain massage, and then double check your 310s. If we all finish, then I'd love to move on to part 2. If we need this whole day for reading inventory, that's fine. But I do suggest then Wednesday you start looking at task 2 so that you have some time to let that sit so you can think and get a start on it. Alrighty. So take the reading inventory. Let me know if that link isn't working. And I'm going to be quiet, really. I know. You can't believe it. But you can ask me a question if you need it, okay?